The biggest concern was they wanted me to post a certain amount of times for like 5 to 10 years. And I was like, yo, y'all basically asking me to sign away my creative freedom.
Ooh, what were some business lessons that you learned along the way now? So like, okay, this stuff starts happening, like it's accelerating really quick. You got into it not to make money, it seems. Like you got into it because this is what you enjoyed to do. You wanted to make people laugh. You were doing it genuinely. At what point did you realize, okay, hold up, I got to start thinking about this a little bit more outside of just me making something funny and posting it? When did that happen? Yeah,
so actually it's funny because I started the journey of, so what I had to learn in this whole blow up period of my channel taking off was I had to learn the transition from a creator to a business. I had to learn that because I was so used to like being a content creator, just like creating content, that I was completely neglecting the business side. Like there's a quote I think that goes, I was focusing, like I was so much focused in the business that I wasn't focused on the business. Something like that. I don't know exactly how it goes, but it's something along those lines to where I was just creating, not thinking about taxes, not thinking about the fact that I'm not being productive, not thinking about my workflow. So the biggest lesson that I learned in this whole business, or one of the biggest lessons, was that I think this may come from so for people who don't know, I've never met my father, don't know his name, don't know what he looked like, none of that. And it was just me, my mom, and my brother growing up. And so I was always, quote unquote, the man of the house. So I've always been independent, always been the one who, if something was broken in the house, I fixed it. If it was anything that needed to be repaired, it was me. Like when it came to, like when I got my first car at like 18, I was taking it to the grocery store. I was buying. So I've always been super independent. So when it came into business, I had to realize I don't have to do everything. And so what's dope is, and this is just like a story example, right? So, and this is why it's important to have good friends. So the first time when I first got into YouTube and my channel was moving, I started making merch, right? And I made this merch that I thought was so dope. It was so fire at the time. I'm like, yeah, I hand drew it on my tablet and I was killing it, right? Last month, well, not even last month, maybe at last year sometime, one of my boys FaceTimed me, again, shout out to Socks Productions, FaceTimed me, was like, yo, I'm at the laundromat and these kids are wearing your hoodies. And he's like, yeah, like, so he FaceTimed me. I got to talk to the kids, a dope experience. Like, yo, I appreciate y'all support, love, and all that. And after they left, he told me, he was like, yo, bro, I ain't gonna lie to you, bro. This merch is trash. And I was like, damn. He told me straight up, like, yo, this merch is trash. And I'm like, but I didn't get offended because I knew, like, this isn't my area of expertise. I just made it because I was told that, like, YouTube, of course, you want to have different streams of revenue. You don't just you don't just lean on AdSense, right? So that started a whole thing for me to where now I got a designer who handles all of my merch stuff. And I just got the pieces in like yesterday and we're revamping this whole merch thing. But anyway, the whole meaning of this story is I had to learn that I don't have to do this by myself. I've been doing everything by myself, from editing to filming to like whenever I make my little parody rap songs, I be mixing and mastering tracks in here. I be downloading GarageBand and FL Studio and putting beats together. And it's like, I don't have to do that. You don't like, even if you don't have the quote unquote resources, you got resources like Fiverr. You got resources like if you got a little nephew who in school, pay him $20 a month to just respond to your comments on Instagram. Like it just frees your time. Like your time is the most important thing. And that's what I had to learn. So I'm still learning. I'm still in that transition of going from creator to business. And it's a tough transition because there's a lot of mindset shifts that take place. And again, that's why it's important to have people around you who know what they're talking about and who can speak into your life in different ways. So again, I'm talking a lot, but yeah, that was the biggest business lesson I've learned as of recently. Is just like, you don't have to be solo dolo all the time. You can get a team. You can get people to help you.
That's good.
You said the key words. Multiple streams of income from creating content. Let's talk about it. Okay, so break down to the people, based off your experiences, what are the different streams just being a content creator, and which one have you seen the most money from? Okay, that's the important part. Like we we want to know how you making this money. Like, and what does that actually look like? Because some people, what I love about like YouTube creators, they literally are super transparent about like, okay, I got $100 this month. Okay, now it went to 3,000. Okay, now it's woo, woo, woo. And with your growth with YouTube Shorts, like I don't think that's ever really been broken down from a content creator standpoint of what does that really look like from a monetizing standpoint. So if you can break down the multiple streams and, you know, what does that look like for you?
For sure. So one, I'm open and transparent. It's probably not a good thing, but I'm very open, so I don't mind sharing whatever. So first thing I'll say is the thing I quickly learned is that shorts content, for people who don't know, when it comes to YouTube Shorts and TikTok and stuff like that, well, specifically YouTube Shorts are meant more so for reach and engagement. Shorts don't pay that much. Shorts probably pay me. Now, granted, it's a lot of money to some people. Shorts probably pay me like $2,000 a month, which is a lot of money for some people. Don't get me wrong, it's a lot of money. But compared to the other streams, it's not a lot. They pay maybe $2,000 a month, depending on how often you post. And there's some people who make way more than that. But for me anyway, and the way that I post, that's what I make off of YouTube Shorts only, right? So the different streams you got YouTube AdSense revenue. And again, totally transparent. The most I've made off of YouTube ad revenue is like $50,000 in a month, which is amazing. $50,000 in a month off of YouTube AdSense revenue.
First of all, you're not gonna speed past that. You can just say what you just said.
No.
Yikes.
No, you're not going.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Okay, my bad.
Rewind. Say that a little. Say that for the people.
Slower.
Yeah, say that slower for the people in the back.
My bad. So yeah, the most I've made off of YouTube, the biggest I've seen thus far is $50,000 in a month. Yeah, I'll say that. Yeah. So that's
what
been
was that reaction like?
You said what?
What was that reaction like? And what was the reaction like? You know what I'm saying? You just open up 50, like,
yeah, we gotta know.
Yeah. You know what it is? Honestly, is weird because I feel like I'm still living in this phase of like I don't know what's happening. So it's like I'll see things like again, and I posted on my Instagram. I just bought my dream car. Just bought a Tesla Model 3, right? And
I was gonna ask, did Elon pay for that, or how did that work out? You know,
I wish you to pay for it. but the crazy part is like these like blessings, I call them, they're coming in and they're so dope. But I don't allow myself to sit in them for too long. Like I don't allow myself to get to this place where I'm comfortable. Or I feel like I've accomplished this much. Now I do allow myself to be grounded and be like, yo, I've reached this point. I'm so thankful for the people who support, thankful to my friends, my family, God, all these things. But when I saw like the 50 or whatever, it was more like, man, like this is cool. Like this is dope. But it's like, I feel like I still haven't really experienced like this high of like, but I think it's a good thing because I don't want, like, I got a friend who tells me that she loves but hates that I'm so humble. And it's not even by choice. I'm naturally like, I don't get too high on my own. I don't drink my own Kool-Aid. I just do what I do. I enjoy creating content. You
don't get high on your own supply. It's all right. I knew where you were going.
I was looking for it. I was looking for it. You got it. Yeah. So
I don't want people to think I'm over here. You know,
I don't want them to think I'm cracked out. But
yeah, my bad. I was looking for it. So yeah, I don't get high on my own supply. So yeah, it's like I really feel like I haven't felt it yet. The one time I felt it was the first YouTube check I ever got that was like pretty good money. It was like $6,000. And I remember I was in the car and I was counting it because I used to move my money from bank to bank physically. And I was counting it and I started crying. I was like, yo, like what's going on right now? Because it was like just a row of hundreds. And I was just like, yo, what in the world, bro? So that was the first time I actually felt it. But I think maybe if the $50,000 was cash, it'd have been different. Maybe I'd have laid it down on the bed and rolled around. You know what I'm saying? But yeah. So I mean, yeah. I feel like I still haven't necessarily felt it yet. You know what I mean?
Okay. So you said AdSense. We said shorts. What else are the other ones?
So then you got man, I got so many stories for y'all. Like I'm trying to okay. And this kind of goes back to my point, right? My point of me, I've never been money number driven. I took the assessment. You guys know, of course, I think it's the attributes assessment. And my number one was like, I want to say it was like individualism or something like that. I can't remember what it was called, but it was something to the point where like I'm driven off of me being able to be me. I got this deal recently, and I'm excited to share this publicly because I know, and I know because God is so good. I got this deal. There's this company out here, right? Who they basically buy all of your older content. All of the videos I made from 2011 to 2021, they wanted to buy it. They approached me with a 6-figure deal. And they was like, yo, we want to buy all your older videos from you.
Wait, first of all, you not gonna speed past that like you didn't just say what you just said.
Say that one more time. Say what was 6? You said 6?
They offer 6 figures for my content from 2011 to 2021. Because they say that your older content doesn't perform as well. My content still perform, but they say over time it starts to like dwindle to where you don't make much money from it, which is true, right? But the one thing, so we got to reading this, and I'm gonna get back to the streams and stuff like that. But these are the two biggest for me are brand deals and Adsense revenue. Mm-hmm. So the biggest red flag, and I looked at the contract, I'm like, yo, this is crazy. They want to offer me this much money. I look at the contract, and the one thing that I read, and I'm talking about they came back to me 4 or 5 times over this, like. They were really trying to get me to take this, and I was like, "Oh, I turned it down." I think I said that. I turned it down. So the biggest concern was they wanted me to post a certain amount of times for like 5 to 10 years, and I was like, "Yo, y'all basically asking me to sign away my creative freedom, like, and I can't give that away." Like the reason I got into YouTube and got into content creation is because I have the freedom to do what I want, post what I want, how I want. And the way that I look at it too is I'm not hurting, right? I'm not hurting for this money. So if I was hurting for it, which I can understand how some people might take it, it's like, yo, this is a large lump sum, but it's like, I'm not hurting for it. So it wouldn't make sense for me to take it. Plus, I don't even know what I would do with it. I'm still like in the process of learning like wealth management and financial literacy. So I'm not trying to take it and just blow it. But so yeah, like the reason I'm so excited to say I turned it down is because I just know that if they were willing to offer me that, I know I'm worth so much more. I know it. And so it's like, and so I'm just excited about what else got. So AdSense revenue was 50 grand in a month. Biggest brand deal was this 6-figure thing. I turned it down, which is cool. But next you got merch, which merch does decent depending on how you do it, like and how you sell it. Merch, I think I made last year maybe like 5-6 grand off of merch. You have what else? Oh, TikTok pays. You have Instagram pays for like bonuses. You got sometimes collaborations pay. I'm trying to think. There's a lot of ways to get paid off of social media. Facebook pays. I'm trying to think. Like, there's a lot of ways, but I'm having a brain fart right now as to like the difference.
You're good. Yeah, I just want to make sure that you covered your big spots of making some income just creating content. So no, that was dope.
People sleep on content creation. There's money in content creation. People sleep on it. People sleep on it.
That's awesome. That's awesome.